Hey guys, today I want to talk about, do many expats live on just Social Security? We have a lot of guys that don't have any retirement funds. The only retirement funds that they have is their Social Security. We have a lot of people coming over here, they're just on their Social Security and they make it, okay? A lot of other channels will tell you you can live below 1,000. If you're getting Social Security below 1,000, don't come. Because you have Medicare back home and you have a lot of things back home that'll pick up those medical costs that you won't have over here. Can you make it over here in 1,000? Yes, you can. But like I've said, you will not live well. Heed me on that warning. Okay, you will not live well. You will not live happy over here. Some do, some don't. Some major emergency comes up and it's a major mess for those people. So be careful, guys. Be very, very careful, coming over here thinking that you can live almost on nothing, okay? Here's the other thing. A lot of expats over here in our group are on Social Security. Some of them that are coming over here, they have 2,000 up in Social Security. They had good jobs, they had good construction jobs, they had good pay at their companies or wherever they worked, and some of them were engineers or whatever. They made good money so that their Social Security is way up here, and they got 401ks and 403bs or whatever. But actually, in reality, over here, if you're making $1,000, you could live just off your Social Security. You could do it. I don't recommend living on less than $1,500, and you guys know that from watching my channel. But in a tough case, I know in some towns that $1,500, you'd be homeless. I know in Massachusetts, if you were making $1,500 a month, unless you had some sort of subsidized housing or something, guess what? You'd be homeless. You'd be out. And I see a lot of people that are being thrown to the forefront. They just busted in some people from Florida, I guess DeSantis did, up to Massachusetts. And they flew some into Martha's Vineyard too in Massachusetts. And it's overwhelming housing because they're putting these people into emergency housing. They're putting them into hotels, and the state's got to pick that up. And it's foolishness because the people that are paying the taxes are not getting what they should be getting. So if you live in one of those states, your benefits are probably going to be a lot less. Your benefits are going to be exceptionally less. So when you're out there and you're thinking about, hey, should I retire, become an expat? I'm on my Social Security. That's all I got. Social Security is a safe bet because is it going to run out? It may run out in the future, but I think that they'll always have something to subsidize it or fix it or whatever. They'll have to do it, or they'll add an extra tax on somewhere. They'll figure it out. That's a lot of money to overcome. I mean, we're throwing money at other countries. We're throwing money at the Ukrainian war, but yet we're telling people that they might not have enough money for Social Security. That's scary, It's really, really scary that we're throwing money at all these different countries, and yet Social Security is at risk. That's a concern. But I don't think in our lifetime we'll have to worry about it. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But if they do something, the worst that would happen is they would lower it probably like 20%. So make sure if you come over here, have some emergency money to back up that Social Security. There's many Social Security recipients over here that live on just Social Security, but the majority of people over here have some sort of backup fund. Now, I've seen a lot of people over here, as they get older, they don't have their wits about them as much in their late 60s and 70s, sometimes 80s or whatever, and their girlfriend talks them out of their money and says, honey, let's start a business. Let's do this here. Do not use your emergency money to start a business over here. To start a business over here, you might as well just throw your money into the wind and let it blow away because that's where it's going, unless you know what you're doing. I've been lucky enough to see some businesses flourish just off my channel alone. I've seen Pax's business, driving people around. I've seen Romnick's business pick up with the furniture and stuff because we've helped them push customers to them, and also the AC guy. And now we have the attorney, and we also have the lady that does our accounting and everything. And all these people, these businesses, we try to push them as much as we can and try to help them. And I try to, anytime I have somebody that needs somebody like an accountant or an attorney or whatever, or a woodworker or an electrician or whatever, guess what? We have somebody that does it. We can usually recommend somebody that can do it professionally or whatever, and they do a really good job, and they do it reasonably and they won't take advantage of the expat or what have you. You know, so, but anyway, guys, I want to talk all about that because I thought all that was important. You know, you need to be careful with your money over here. You guys on Social Security that don't have other money coming in should be even more careful than other people. Be careful with your money over here. Don't go out and go crazy with it. You know, always try to save a little bit of that money each month and put it aside, because you are going to end up going to the hospital at some point. You are going to have an emergency. You know, your wife might get sick. Your wife's kids might get sick or whatever. These are things that you're probably going to end up picking up in the future, and you're going to need some money, and you want to make sure that you leave your emergency money intact so that when you have an emergency, you're okay. But you also want to make sure you have some money aside for your family or whatever, because they're your responsibility. A lot of people don't think that that's their responsibility. They say, well, ask your family for money or whatever because I don't have it. Well, you know, if you take on a girlfriend or a wife, it's your responsibility if they're living with you. You know? But anyway, guys, you know, be careful, be frugal, and, you know, just stay low. Don't flash your money around or anything either when you're here in the Philippines. You know, have a tight hold on that money all the time. You know, always have a tight hold on that money, because I've seen so many people over here come over here and they go broke quickly. They still have their monthly income coming in, but they don't even have enough money to get home in an emergency, God forbid. You know, or they don't have enough money to pay a hospital if they have a sickness like pneumonia or something like that, and they need to go to one of these medical clinics around here. They don't even have the money for that sometimes. I see it often, I hear it often from people that write to me, you know, hey Steve, I got some family members are sick, what can I do? They're writing to me. Like I'm gonna help them. You know, I don't know. I don't know how to help those people. You know, I've had people write to me and ask me, you know, hey Steve, I have a couple of family members that are stuck in a hospital. This was just the other day, a matter of fact, and there's not much I can do about it. You know, I don't know what to tell people like that, because, you know, if you don't have insurance on people and they go to the hospital, how are they going to pay their bills? That's why I always push people towards having insurance, and especially you guys on Social Security, because Medicare does not work over here. You have to have some sort of insurance over here. You have to have like Pacific Cross. You have to have one Cigna or whatever it is, any of these insurances around here that you can use. There's tons of insurances. Like I said, you go through Pacific Cross, not to repeat myself, but Pacific Cross is one, and Pacific Prime will point you to a different bunch of companies, and they'll give you a lot of different prices on insurances from different companies, and they're really, really good. I like Pacific Prime because Pacific Prime is just really good like that. Remember, look up Pacific Prime if you want to get quotes from different companies. It's a brokerage house, okay? And it's one of the better brokerage houses out there. But anyway, guys, God bless. Take care. I hope you enjoyed today's show.